How's it going? Oz here with a no frills devlog. I fell a little bit off of my schedule and was not able to get a devlog out this weekend, but that is okay because it is here now. Today I hope to go over some really kind of simple features that I worked on over the past few weeks, as well as to show a little bit of the concepts for some gameplay stuff that I was thinking about and brainstorming with a little bit of help from Claude AI. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. Let's hop into it. So the first thing is I was working on adding a little bit more interactivity to the fish. Currently, the players don't really have much way to interact with the fish. There, we saw a little bit of the walking scene, so that was good. But we want some more of these foundational ways to just interact with the fish and make it feel like, oh, you can form that connection with them and that they feel more alive. So, the first thing that I did, very basic, was just added the ability for the fish to get hungry and for you to feed these fish. So right now this is still kind of in the editor mode. I haven't pushed this out to an actual demo yet, but right now we have a typical. Our fish are floating around here, and what I can do is take fishy here. So I'll just take fishy, one of these default fish, and I'll just increase their hunger to the max. So their hunger is now 3. And so when I go to drop food in this tank, now we'll see that fishy will urgently rush after the food, just like that. This rotation is a little bit off. I think I realize how I can fix that now after seeing it live, but yeah, this is a very rough state right now, but you can see that these fish are now going to be able to take advantage of the food that's in the tank when they actually reach a hungry state. So I'll just go ahead and try this one more time. Maybe we can see it up close a little bit. So let's get out of pause, increase their hunger to 3, and they're running at it. They're like, all the food, give it all to me. Let's see them go over to the last batch of food and knock it all out of the way because this collider is huge. And so this is also true for the other fish as well. I have right here David, so let's increase David's hunger. He's on the hunt for some food. He sees all the foods over there. He's swimming over. Nom. Oh, one more. Oh. Ooh, so maybe... Oh, his hunger. Huh. That was interesting. So right now it's a little bit of a kind of debug rough state, but I think right now it serves the purpose of just showing the proof of concept and is open to refinement later on. Speaking of proof of concepts, another feature that has been added that is in a just okay state is the ability to change the time of day. So in this thought process of going in and actually updating the gameplay and adding more features to the game, one idea that I thought of that would be interesting is the ability to see the progression of time as you're caring for these fish. So if some players want to be challenged in this game in some way, what I was thinking was it would be cool to have some type of fish management, very light and cozy fish management aspects to the game that you could use and engage with in order to kind of keep your fish healthy and alive, and still just going along with that chill and relax vibe, but also give that option for players who want a little bit more motivation or challenge to play the game, something that would be interesting to do. And so this comes in the form of actually deciding what your actions are going to be during the day and using those actions to take care of the fish and bring up, certain fish with more training in certain areas, and then other fish with training in other areas, and then managing things like their stress levels and all that. I think those would be some interesting things to add to the game. I did a little bit of brainstorming with Claude AI for that, but what I have right now to kind of show the base idea for what that will look like visually is this transition in the time of day. So if I go to right now the player, so right now I think the time is it time evening right now? It says afternoon. I gotta clean this up. This has too much going on here. But what happens is when I hit next time, we can see that there's a lighting change that indicates that the time of day is actually transitioned. And generally, what I'm thinking is this would be cool to perform after certain actions have been taken. So if you decide to feed the fish in this moment, of course that action takes up some time, and so that's time that you could have spent doing potentially other things with those fish instead of feeding them. So feeding would take up time, walking the fish would take up time. So if you went for like a night walk with your fish, then boom, it transitions. The fish would go to sleep that night, and then you would wake up, and now it would be a new day, morning. And so the morning time is generally, I think, when would be the good time to kind of accumulate the money that you get for taking care of these fish and based on their state and stuff like that. And then those are the tokens that you can use to go to the gachapon machine in the store and actually get more things to go and increase the quality of your fish tank and the quality of your fish care. So this is the morning visual. And then we have the afternoon, noonish. And then the evening time, it's a little bit more of a red. And then finally, right now for night, it's just a very deep dark blue. So very interesting, very cool way to represent the transition of time here. So let's go to the last feature I have here, which is activity mode. And so I think this activity mode will be a good visual way to do all of those interactions with your fish, like the mini games that we were talking about. Things like tug of war, petting the fish, playing fetch with your fish, and just those simple ideas that we had for our vertical slice for this project. So it looks like, because a lot of this was still in a very rough state, it's a little bit busy and couldn't get it all in here just as I wanted it. I think I actually have to go and start this from the other scene. So let's actually go to the activity scene real quick. Boot this up. And now we should be able to see pretty much the same type of environment loaded up with our fish, but now we have this kind of front and center view of our fish. This fish is, oh man, did it even tell me? Did I remove the names from this fish? Maybe I did. Well, that's okay. So here we have our fish. I think this was Fishy, was his name. And so you can actually come in and interact with this fish. Right now the only interaction that I have is petting, but I think this would be a cool area to do the things like tug of war, playing the fetch, all those different types of one-on-one fish interactions. And so right now what I have is, it looks like it's a little bit in a bug state because I can click somewhere else and I see like these little pet reactions that I added in. But basically, if you go over, you hover over a little fishy here, you'll see that the cursor is now changed from the basic one to this little petting hand. And so as you pet him, there's a response or a reaction that gets generated from this fish. And that pretty much shows, how much they like being pet. So yeah, another one that's kind of just really thrown in here. Haven't really done a lot of polish these past few weeks because I've been brainstorming a lot on the gameplay side of things and how we can enhance and add more challenge to the game in that way. So I think now I want to transition over to show what I was thinking would be interesting from a day-by-day perspective for this fish tank simulation type stuff. So let me pull that up. Okay, before I hop over and show some of the gameplay concept stuff, I actually wanted to really quickly show some of the things that Ashley was working on. I think she did a really awesome job with rigging up the fish models that she's been working on. So, I'm a very amateur animator, but what we can see here is that these fish now have a skinned mesh renderer, so they actually deform as we move the different bone locations within the fish. So just as a very simple example, I'm just gonna show the tail wagging on this goldfish over here, so we can see that as we rotate this skinned joint position, we can see that because I have this tail parented to the base of this bone, it will go ahead and wag with it. And we can see that the fish's entire body kind of rotates with this tail motion as well. So really cool, and I'm looking forward to getting more animations like that into the game. These tails, what will happen is maybe not so much the tail perhaps, but these fins will be a little bit more like dynamic in a way and procedural. So the main fish's body, I think, is what we're going to end up doing, is going to do some basic animations, and these fins are going to be more floppy and animate as a result of the motion of this kind of base body animation. So really looking forward to that and seeing how that kind of comes together. Let's see if we can get one more rotation here on the... One more rotation here. Okay, here we go. A much more drastic one. And right now I don't have the dorsal fin parented right now, but let me go ahead and try to bring that in here and see if that now gives us a little bit of a, there we go, a little bit more consistency in the sway. So very cool. Dorsal fin might also end up being a dynamic bone in a way. Yeah, she even did the little mouth here, so a very rough demo of this. I almost feel ashamed to demonstrate her amazing work this way, but we can see that. Oh, maybe not that one, but what is the one that I want for the mouth? I thought it was that one. Oh, okay, there we go. So now we can see that these fish, when they come in to eat, we can just give them a little big open mouth, just like fish do, and they'll just gulp up whatever it is that's in the tank that they're ready to eat. So I like this expression of the fish because it has like a cool little like smirk. Smirking fish. And then there's the same for the angelfish as well, which she rigged earlier this week. Yeah, so I think what I have is, again, the tail is parented, and so we can see that. Oh, looks like it didn't quite rotate the whole mesh this way. Perhaps I did not parent it correctly. Yeah. From the Unity side of things, a lot of integration with this stuff is still a work in progress, so I don't quite have it all ready yet, but in general, I'm looking forward to getting more things going here.